Hello and welcome. This is my first UCI Elite Women's Race. So we got Jolanda starting right next to me. That was super motivating and scary. So this is the start of the race. I got some pretty good power out, but obviously not doing too hot coming off of like a month of just base riding. So not a ton of pop in the system, but it's okay. We're here for a good time and a short time. So that's also the start. Will recorded it with his camera. This is the first little spiral of the Hendersonville course. And they actually made, different than the year before, this little cut through right here that kind of got a little bogged up on this turn. Nothing too bad, but definitely like kept the field together right there, but then also like obviously let the front shoot off. So did okay in that, didn't obviously start super well, kind of fell back a little bit in the beginning of the turns. I was a little nervous just because I haven't raced cross since last year. So this is me kind of catching back up, and this is the first little descent into the stairs. So you have that sharp turn at the bottom and a little pop-up. And that's Izzy running right next to me. Shout out Izzy. So we run up these stairs, everybody in front of us kind of catching up. So successful first run up the stairs, I would say. Got some space made up right there. You go down that little hill and you go past the tech feed zone around this little pond. This is where I made my first little pass. So that was motivating. I was happy about that. This turn is so fun. It's just like a little bit, throws you to the side, but it feels really firm. And then that'll just do some dust around the baseball fields. Tim's cheering me on, so obviously that motivated me to go even harder. This, you could go the top line and the bottom line. You could see the girl behind me and in front of me took the bottom line, but you have to get off, and I think it's slower. You can see Izzy took the top line like I did. But you really got to make sure that you can kick and push through quickly. Each time you had to clip back in too, so you also had to be pretty efficient with that. This turn, it just keeps turning, and in the past I've pedal struck on that turn and just ate it a couple times, so it always freaks me out. I always go a little too slow. Right here, this girl kind of like made a pretty big dig, and so I had to catch up when we got back to the feed zone. So I caught up to her right here, and I was like, I'm just gonna keep going with this momentum because why not? So past her, she's feeling it, you can tell by her face. And then by the time I get this hill, so I marked this hill, I got up to like 700 something watts. I kept this in for most of the video because I wanted to see how consistently I could hit this. And this turn, or like, I call this like ricochet up and around, I kept messing up. And I think I lost a lot of time right there. This little wall right here is like a trademark feature of this course. Made this another pass right there around the SCAD girl. That's big. He's a Cyclocross legend. We'll run through. This is the final section of I won't say trail, but of the course, right before you hit the finish line straight. Little kicker right there, cross the road, and then you go on the other side of the road and then just get back on. So we're doing 6 laps total of this little spiral again. I watched a few races go around the spiral and saw that you could pedal most of the way around it, so I tried to do that every time. It is kind of scary though, because you don't want to just lose traction. Fun fact, this was the first time I've ridden with cyclocross tires on my bike, because usually I just have gravel tires on and I'm too lazy to switch it out. But I had a little extra time recently and I just spent maybe too long in the garage trying to switch them out. And I did it. And I had to negotiate with the UCI man that they were not wide enough, or that they were not too wide because my rims, the Gula rims, pushed them out pretty wide, so I barely made the cut. Right here, my Velocious pals really motivated me to make this pass, so made the pass. Feeling good. Tried to hold down this power as long as I could just to stay strong around her so that she didn't, stick on my wheel. Got a pretty good drone shot of that turn right there. It's on my Instagram. And so she's still right behind me, even on this. I hit the pins right there. So that was a little slow section for me. So she's, I think, right behind me. And on this next kind of chicane section, she was right behind me, and it seemed like she was catching up, and I was like, man, I'm not turning really well. I'm just like still learning how to cross. And so I was like, okay, obviously I need to change something up next time I go through this section because she was catching up each turn. Practiced mounting. Okay. So I got up to almost 800, so still hitting around 700 watts on that climb for the next lap. But what I was going to say is I practiced mounting and dismounting the day before this race, and I still double step on the bottom, so I was pretty hyped to not be too bad. There's a bit again, cheering me on. This little clip Will sent in, so this is the front of the race, Lizzie and Jolanda, and then Lauren.
Yeah, Lauren.
4th place right there, 5th, 6th, and then Emily and Jen are 7th and 8th right there, so I'm right behind them with this girl, so I'm right behind her on this lap.
Yeah, there it is. You can see just a little Lizzie just slants off the gas.
Yes, Sierra. Stay on it.
All right, so a couple behind me, they had just said drink water, so I was like, yes, I will do that. It wasn't too hot, but it was I was getting a little hot. That section was pretty rough right there. Nothing too crazy. That little chicane was always bothering me. Some of the guys went up and over the top right there, which is pretty cool. I did not do that.
We're running out of things to say.
They're running out of things to say is what they told me. So mid-race interview coming up soon. This is a fun little shot of me trying to learn how to use a zoom in on Will's drone. That is all.
Alright, yeah, we're running out of things to say, so we're going to do an interview mid-race. How are you feeling today?
Could be better.
You raced too much this morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, how's the first though?
It's pretty fast. It's kind of dusty.
Go, go, go!
So yeah, lots of good info from that interview, I would say. Didn't hit 700 watts on this one, so coming down a little bit. I came out too wide right there, and there's gravel, and almost ate it. But I held it together because I'm super good. No, I'm just being sarcastic. So this section's always fun. Like I said, let's see what wattage I get up to this time around. Okay, so still getting over 700. There's some more friends. Love me some heckling. Please heckle me. Little kicker right here. Always a good old punch. And then 3 laps to go. So I'm still in 9th place at this point. I passed that one girl, so I'm in 9th place. You can kind of see the people in front of me still pretty close. Some good motivation right there. So they really motivated me to stick to it.
Oh my god, you're almost close. You're so close.
Crushing this part. I really love this turn right here into this, like I said, double line section that you could take. I always took the top line every single time. I got better and better at it. So that was way faster than the last couple times I've done it. So pretty smooth. Coming out of that rolly section into this turn that's never ending. And I think I also lost time through these turns right here. I could have ridden it with somebody, maybe figure out how to do a little bit better. There's Zach taking some photos. And yeah, I think some of these turns I could have done a little bit better, but you live and you learn. And this is me running over the barriers. Not too bad. Nice. I feel like I was pretty good for my first barriers of the year in November. Okay, let's see. Barely got into 700 watts on that one. So halfway through the race, still hitting around the same watts as I did. See, I didn't go as low that time, and I think that helped a lot. So I'm making adjustments as I go on the fly. But I still noticed that I was slowly getting further and further back. There's Will cheering me on. You could kind of rest during that section. There he is again. 2 laps to go. So this time I'm kind of in no man's land. I'm just trying to make up time and just figure out at this point where I'm losing the time because I'm, obviously putting out pretty okay power for me. And so I was like, man, I just must be like not efficiently turning at this point. So obviously smart. So try to take a couple things a little differently. Took that more inside than I have been. I've messed up on this turn in the past, so kind of nailed it that time. You can see Emily and Jen over right next to me right there. And on the next lap, I included that same part where I was, so I can see again how much further ahead they got. So finishing out this lap right here, getting up to 500 watts on that little finish. This is a little shot of the front of the race, right where I just was. So that's Jolanda and Lizzie. 1 lap to go. Feeling it at this point. Kind of locked in a position, but again, trying to improve because that's what I'm here to do. Took that turn a little bit too wide. It is harder because I'm trying to improve, and I'm also like getting more fatigued. So I'm like there, just ran into the stair, just losing a little bit of control over my body. Those turns, a couple times I messed them up so bad. This turn I love, like I said, but I think the key to this cross race, especially if you're me and you're just learning how to cross, so they're ahead of where they were last time right there. So that was indicating to me, I was like, okay, I'm losing time each lap. But what I was saying is that I think it's good to just keep adjusting for me, doing something different every time, just trying to flow with it and not just like sitting comfortably like, okay, well, I rode that last time like this, I'm gonna ride it like this again. But just really trying to learn as I go. And if that involves mistakes, then hopefully the power that I can put out will make up for it. So rode that turn that I don't like quicker, got up to barely 700 watts on the last lap. So we'll take that as a W. Durability right there. This last little wall experience. On the second day, just go straight up that wall, which is pretty fun. I actually like this day better though. I like this entrance. And I did see how the elite men, they cut and then they cut in, which I was like, oh, maybe I should have been doing that. But yeah, 9th place out of 17. Pretty solid. Happy with it.